Hello, everybody. This is Schmitty, and you are listening to Talkin Schmit, podcast that comes out every Tuesday, generally about skateboarding, but sometimes we have musicians or sometimes we have eclectic, just random folk coming in. So don't always expect a skater, but more than likely there will be skateboarding influence. I got a lot of shop stickers behind me, skate shops. If you're not up there, send them to me. I'm repping Plus today from Orlando because my guest, and this is the part that you want to listen to, Evan fucking Smith. Really stoked to finally fucking get our windows closed, our doors locked, and both of us uninterrupted at the same time. We're going to see how much time we get, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think you should be too. Big love.
Oh my motherfucking God. Who does Schmitty got on the show today? Not the skater of the year, not the skater of the decade, but the skater of the motherfucking cosmos. From taking Street League to another level and making style okay again, to big spin 360 ollie nose grabs over fences, this guy will go down as my favorite skater of all motherfucking time, along with Phil Shao. Evan Smith, you are my motherfucking hero, and I am so glad you're on the pod.
Enjoy.
Hey, it's Corey at Blue Plate, 3218 Mission Street. Come see us. Meatloaf, fried chicken, deviled eggs, Dollar Olympia beers. We're here every day of the week. We got a garden, and we got smiles on our faces. Come let us make you happy.
I love Blue Plate.
Head on down to your local shop. Ask Blood Wizard Skateboards. Or visit bloodwizard.com for all your conjuring needs.
Tickety-tack.
All right, kids, here we go. The one, the only Starhead Body.
Hey, this is Evan Smith here, and we're talking Schmit.
It's cool, like tonight is the night.
Here we go again.
Just give it the old college try, right now.
Big Dog's in.
96 times, Schmitty.
Thanks, Schmitty.
We on? Schmitty?
Talkin Schmit.
That's called go to the hospital, bitch. I'd be shitting my pants.
Your Rolodex is fucking deep.
It's about the one.
Who is this guy thinks he's tough shit?
What's up?
We're tastemakers.
Come on, Schmitty, what the fuck?
Let's hear it for Jake Phelps. Yeah!
Schmitty! Schmitty! Recording in progress. Literally.
I got my fucking Plus Orlando, bro.
Oh, that is just absolute respect right there, Schmidt.
How are you?
Dude, absolutely fired up right now, dude. We're gonna do Grimple video. Dude.
You're making music for the video?
Yeah, I'm working on a song right now. Got the Prophet out.
Sick.
Kind of converted the living room into a little studio for 10 days.
Whoa, where are you?
I'm here in Long Beach, but
I
actually moved out of Long Beach about like a year and a half ago. I've been living on the Mesa in Taos, New Mexico.
Oh shit, how's that?
It is a wild experience, dude. I mean, once the world kind of shut down and everyone started going cuckoo bananas, I was like, I'm going to get out of here. And it led me to meeting my girl. And then I moved out to the Mesa, and we've been running a 24-volt solar setup and hauling our own water. There's no grid there, so we're off the grid.
Whoa.
And doing a lot of gardening and just like, yeah, living far out, somewhere where nobody can ever find you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you build a little something to skate?
We're actually working on a ramp right now. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you travel so much, you're skating plenty. So probably when you're home, you're just like, I want to kick it with my girl.
Yeah. Kick it, chill. And then, I mean, I've had a lot of injuries and stuff like that. So I get fired up on trips and just go really, really hard. And then when it comes down to like have a week or two off, it's kind of like let the metal in my bones settle, you know?
Oh man, me too, dude. My fucking like when the winter comes, I feel all the metal in my bone. I'm like, ah.
Dude, like, don't get younger, dude. They say that, and then I think I'd have the same legs ever since I was a little squirt, but no, thank you.
Oh my god, damn.
How about you? Shit, what have you been up to, my man?
Well, I'm coming off 2.5 months of marital life. Me and my girlfriend got married, and so that's been the big news, really. I mean, like you said, the world went cuckoo, and it was right, dude. This is a crazy one. I fucking moved in with my girl. I think it was 10 days before the lockdown.
Holy cannoli! What a time to like jump into like a house with somebody.
But it wasn't a house; it was a 1-bedroom apartment.
Holy shit! That's basically what we're doing. I moved in with my girl, and we're living in 2 trailers.
Yeah, it helps you kind of accelerate your feelings. Like, is this going to work or not? Like, real quick, like if you're getting into shit about the toothpaste or whatever random crap that comes up, and how you guys deal with your indifferences. That shit goes like, instantly you're like, dude, I can't go anywhere. You can't kick me out of here. We're on lockdown. No,
exactly. That's the thing. And I mean, I fall in love, and the world takes you to different places when you open your heart.
Right.
But then living is a completely different thing, and that ends up like ruining a lot of people's relationship or the potential of like what type of person they're going to be with, because they'll shove each other in an apartment like you guys did, and they'll really get the true testament. And as the world's been in shambles, so many people have gotten divorces, and it's just been like the rates of all types of crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'm guessing like the mental the mentally ill has increased dramatically. I'm guessing pharmaceuticals are through the roof. Like here in San Francisco, and I heard LA too. I haven't been down there, but homeless is just huge right now. It's so sad, like to see. So I mean, SF's always kind of had the problem, but right now it's like real problem.
Dude, it's happening. The world is definitely turning on some strange one, but I'm really holding space for everybody out there and trying to keep a positive mental attitude. PMA is everything.
That's what we got to do.
If you don't have it, then you're just going to get stuck drinking yourself in the hole. And dude, you know how many people we lost to, drugs and alcohol and depression and suicide. And, that's one thing that needs to be said to the public is that if you need help, reach out, talk to your friends,
Right.
And not in a real sense, like, don't just like reach out on fucking DM on social media, like actually reach out, call someone, be like, hey, I'm not doing so good, like can I get a homie? Right. That's what friends are for, and that's what life's about, is like being there for each other on that level.
Yeah, dude, I mean it's been obviously hard in a lot of ways, but what I've been gravitating towards is like, I wasn't really like that too much, but then like you lose a bro, you get a lockdown, you lose another bro. All of a sudden you're like, dude, if I don't keep it positive, I could easily go down the rabbit hole of hell. Like that's too easy. Like I want a challenge. So the challenge is to keep it positive.
Dude, totally. It's totally not fair, man. I don't want to lose anybody else.
Absolutely.
I think our skateboard community is a place where a lot of people come from broken homes and they find their family here in skateboarding,
Mm-hmm.
I know that for me, for sure. And for a lot of my friends, my close buddies. And I don't know, it's just like, that's the family to lean on, especially when, things get tough,
Right.
But on a positive note, you just got to keep that heart open, be out for all your homies, and keep that head high, and the world will come back. It will.
Yeah.
We are a human race.
Did you always kind of have that vibe? Like ever since I known you, you have it. Were your parents kind of instrumental in that kind of stuff? Or like, who would you give credit for who you are?
Dude, I would say like, yeah, we had some definitely some hard times in our family, and that goes down to my mom and my pops, and they're down in Florida. And they're alive, they're healthy, they're doing well, but being separated at a young age, and
Same.
you know, going in and out of apartments. And I used to live with, my nightstands used to be beds, you know, because we had gotten evicted. We weren't very fortunate. We'd get evicted from a lot of apartments, and my like little nightstands were just boxes, you know, and then I just flip my stuff right into the box and pack up and go. We had this vagabond lifestyle, me and my mom like to call it.
Wow.
And it really like taught us that nothing is permanent and everything's fleeting, and, you know, to really, really like count blessings for your life and who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And then Danny Montoya comes through with the Listen Skateboard crew, and I met him at the skate park, and Danny invited me on a tour. And
was that your first tour?
Yeah, it was my first tour. It was like Brian Brown, Rodrigo Peterson, Rob G, Danny Montoya, Nate Fantasia from Houston, Jose Pereira. And yeah, and I just was like, dude, it's go time, you know? So I hit my mom up and I'm like, hey, I'm dropping out of school. I'm going on tour. Because, dude, let me call your uncle, because my uncle's Mike Speranza. Used to be a pro skateboarder, and he was like, I remember hearing the fucking phone call like it was yesterday. He was like, my mom goes, hey, Mike, does he have it? You know, is he going to drop out of school and ruin his life? And my uncle fully believed in me. He was like, yeah, he's got it. He's going to be there, and he will take this skateboarding to as far of reach as he could.
You know, I could see you doing this.
Yes.
And I remember like being like, yes, thank you, Uncle Mike. And then dropped out of school, got on tour, went up the East Coast, went on another tour up the West Coast. And then that was my lead in, you know, that was my straight lead in. And they took me under their wing, you know? Okay. And that's what skateboarding is about. That's why it's such a family, is like, now I just started a skateboard brand, you know, UMA Landsleds.
Yeah.
And now I'm being able to give back to people like Roman Pabich in my day.
So sick. And
like, it's full circle, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like such a beautiful thing that like we have going. And like, I mean, I think all the pros out there should know that it's your responsibility to give back to the youth and give them an opportunity to rise, you know?
That Pabich thing looked rad. I wish I could have been there. I love the Pabich whole family rips. Mom, Dad, Cedric, Roman. I like instantly loved them. Like I barely knew them and I already loved them. Like I had the mom on the podcast even. And she's so cool. And like, I don't know. She just opened up to me about a bunch of cool stuff, and we vibed, and I love them a lot.
And now, another first impression with the 2020 Mother of the Year, Lisa Pabich.
My first impression was the board graphics. I was super attracted to the art, and I thought, how fucking cool is this match for our son to be associated with a company that values art as well as the people they have on the team. So first it was the art that drew me in. Then somehow I heard Evan was very strange, which sparked my brain into doing a little research. Then I'm super intuitive about certain people and when they might be born. I somehow guessed Evan was a winter soul, and to my great surprise, I was right, and in fact, we share the same birthday week. I always enjoy meeting people of like mind. I pretty quickly assumed that strange was accurate. It's like a match that the universe created. I thought I could have never come up with this one. I felt genuinely grateful that Evan appreciated Roman. Finally, he found his crew. And then, of course, I knew of his reputation in the skate world and his importance within the industry, so that was really impressive. So when I finally met Evan right before Roman's pro surprise party, we hugged, and it felt like we've known each other for many years, maybe lifetimes. His energy is real, and I couldn't think of a better company or people that our family is associated with, and I wouldn't have expected anything less of Evan's character before meeting him. Some people say people like us born during this particular week are not of this planet. I would have to agree with them. Love you, my friend, with all your strangeness.
Yeah, they got a really, really cool family. And, you know, the parents, they sacrificed a lot to let their kids, you know, be skateboarders because, you know, when you're a young kid, like that's the thing. Everyone in school is like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then like you say a pro skater and they're like, what? Like, what is that? I want to be a fireman or a doctor, or like, I want to abide by the system. Well, it's like we have this itch inside of us that allows us to fucking just like, you know, like a skateboard session, you know what it's like. Shit goes off, and like, I feed off of Cody. I feed off of Pabich, you know, when we get together, it is like really, really ripping. And that's the foundation of the brand, you know, and like those are the things that we're going to need in our skateboard industry. You know, we're really going to need that energy. I think it's the most important thing that'll keep us alive in the world of like the Olympics and all these headphone people skating alone. And like, community, it's a family, it's a place, you know.
I feel that. And I feel also like I talk to people a lot about it. It's like, you know, you want to talk about the Olympics and these things that maybe Zoomies or whatever that maybe you don't look at as like, that's not what skateboarding is about, right? So, but you think of life as a teeter-totter. So like those things bring it down, and then we have to like level it out. Like, and guess what skateboarding teaches you about? Balance.
You just influence somebody.
We got a yin there, yang.
When I turned 30, I don't know if you can see it, but the scales, you know, I thought it was so important to tag this on my arm because balance is everything in life.
Right.
And it's a part of skateboarding. It's part of physics, about gravity, the way the planet moves. You know, it's a really, really deep embedded thing.
See, oh yeah, it gets deep. Oh, see,
I'm not dogging the Olympics. I'm nothing. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was really cool. A big spread for skateboarding. I'm stoked that we're allowed to open up a new skateboard brand when the world's really, really looking at skateboarding and seeing what it is. But our job is to hold the flag for all the lost boys, you know? Like there are the people that will hit the podium, you know, but the lost boys, that's where it's at. That's where like everybody out there needs to know is that like, this is our safe place, you know?
Right. No, 100%. Like I people ask me all the time, like, what do you think about the Olympics? What do you think about the Olympics? You almost just don't even want to discuss it because it's just like whatever. But in my mind, I'm like, look, dude, if Corey Juno ends up on the box cover of Wheaties, I'm cool. Like dude, that guy, I've watched that guy grow up as a kid, and like all of a sudden, you know, like this is an opportunity for my friends. And, you know, like some of my friends enter contests, and this is the ultimate contest. So there you go. Do I think the Olympics handled it properly? Maybe not, and probably not, but like, that's not on us. We got to just get there, be a part of it, and then teach them how to do it better. And it'll evolve like we all do.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And that, like I said, there's no bagging. Everything that we can be involved in as an industry and as a skateboard family, let's push it. But at the same time, let's question that shit. Like it's in our heritage and in our blood. Don't like abide by all your taxes and all your government. You know what I mean? Don't just like ABC your life. Like have some opinion, have some personality, you know, mind, you know?
100%. Yeah, man. What I would love for them to do is fucking take a city hill, block it off, and just have races down the hill. And whoever wins. That's it. No judges. Like so First guy to the bottom wins.
Yeah, exactly.
People would love that shit. Like if you could block off like, you know, the Dolores bomb or whatever it is. It's like,
dude, a death like in the Olympics would be
they'd be too scared. They'd be like, what did we sign up for?
It'd be like watching a toboggan thing, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Bobsled, toboggan, the luge, just head first down.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, dude. I mean, that is a fundamental part of our skateboard history, you know? Like that should have been the first. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good.
You got me? All right, we're in.
Yeah, we're good. I was wondering though, okay, so check this. You were on Element, and then a bunch of dudes left Element, and you were just kind of like floating around, like skating for Grimple sticks, doing your own thing. How did the name UMA, how did this whole concept come up? How did like the thought process come up where it's like, these are the dudes I want, this is the name, and like, let's do it?
Well, actually, that's a great question. That all kind of happened organically before we signed up to, you know, ride for Element and everything. Me and Cole Matthews and a couple other people, we were in Berlin underneath this staircase, and we're like, you know, do we want to start a skateboard brand instead of like, you know, diving into this? And dude, obviously our first inclination was like, yes, that would be fucking fantastic, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And we already had like started dreaming names. We've been dreaming names for the past 10 years. You know what I mean?
You got like a group text, like, just thought of this. Everyone's
dude,
like, ooh.
See some of the names that we had come up for this brand. It was so fun just being creative and free in that. But at the end of the conversation, we had realized that we didn't have any money. And that is a huge, huge part of it.
Right.
And so Element, you know, they totally opened up their doors to us and as like a crew. And so we went in there and we helped shift the dynamic a little bit more towards like, you know, a core skate brand. And that led up through Future Nature into the Peace video, which John Miner ended up making. And it was just a beautiful transition and everything. But with all great things, like, it's time to keep pushing that forward, you know? Like, it is a really, really respectful thing to do, is to say, okay, cool. Who are the new guys that are going to come up on Element? Let's give them a little bit of like space and time. And let's move to a new situation where, one, we can create a safety net. You know what I mean? We can take care of each other with a safety net, with our own brand, making our own opinions and our own schedules and our own videos and everything. And so it totally just had led from like, oh, we actually financially can't do that, to like, all right, it's almost time. We had saved a lot of money. And then, you know, we launched the brand through Mesa Distribution because there was an opening there and we can actually manufacture. Now, doing this stuff in a pandemic is not easy.
Fuck.
You know?
No, I know. Boards are so hard to get right now.
Oh yeah. But really, really blessings for Bareback for picking up a lot of the pieces where we couldn't have, because that was just that was the only way it could actually be possible. We didn't want to just make, you know, shitty skateboards. We wanted to make skateboards that are going to last and that are going to actually work good. Plus we want to make shapes.
Right.
And the dream was, we know so many rad artists. How can we incorporate these artists into our life? How can we incorporate Thomas Campbell into our daily skateboarding? How can we incorporate Nathaniel Russell?
Shout out.
You know, two of my favorite artists right there that I'm, you know, personally I've been just a huge fan. And then I became a little bit closer with Thomas when he was doing the Yield Destruction.
Okay.
You know,
yeah,
that was his 16mm film that he actually toured it.
The DIY one, right?
Yeah, he had live bands playing scores live to the track because it's 16mm, you know, there's no sound.
She was tight.
Wow.
So you would just like have like a really rad band scoring it live while you're watching this film. And it was just this beautiful artistic perspective. And that just really inspired me on such another level. And then
amazing.
The opportunity came about, the launch came about. And then as far as the team goes, my dream was to always, you know, start off by turning a girl pro, because there isn't so many, at least 10 years ago, there wasn't so many girls in the real limelight of skateboarding.
Right. Yeah.
And thank God for social media. I've been seeing more and more women skateboarding, and it's really, really amazing. This is an all-inclusive, you know, industry. This is a place where we can all be safe, all shapes, all sizes, all colors, all races, gay, anything you want. This is your safe spot, you know?
Yeah.
This is where you can be held high. And I was like, dude, if we're launching this company, like, I want to turn My Tape pro, and that's how I want to launch it, you know?
Oh.
And then, dude, it all actually worked out. We got her boards made. And then next thing you know, My Tape is on the map.
How did you come up with her?
I've just been a huge fan forever. You know, I got to visit Europe a lot through my travels, and dude, she's just like probably one of the coolest skateboarders to watch, you know, in person, the way she pushes, the way she cruises it. She reminds me of like a modern day Gons, where like she's free and she can just like slap to whatever she wants. And it's all sick. And then her personality is just through the roof, dude. Like the smile on this girl is just like absolute, you know?
I need to get her on the pod if she's down. I'm a fan too. Did you have a personal relationship before it started, or like, were you guys talking, or was it like, I hope she's down type of vibe?
Well, totally. I mean, we've been, chatting off and on, like just through the years, like skating. We'd always just meet up and shred. And then we came through Paris to premiere the Peace video, and she actually came to the premiere. So we were hanging out and doing our thing. And I was just like, man, like, you are the fucking coolest. Like, I got your back no matter what. Like, maybe talk to her a little bit about the potential of doing it, like starting a brand. But you never know, like, when you're starting a brand, like, it needs to really happen before you can like invite someone.
Yeah, you don't want to give false hopes.
But yeah, that was the first kind of situation that had like made it like, all right, this is like something new, something fresh. But it took a little bit of time because I didn't want to like go in on something alone, And I hit up Cody Chapman and I was like, dude, I have this idea. Like, I really would love to start a brand, with you being one of the lead pros. And it would just be like really cool if we can keep it simple, just me and you. And then right when we kind of launch, we can, have Maite, and it would just kind of be really small crew. But like, I know Cody and Maite and myself, we get along on like a whole other level, and it's like, that's that feeding skateboard energy thing. And when things feel right, they feel right. And so Cody was like, dude, I don't know. Like, what are you doing?
Provoking the Stoked.
And I'm like, dude, like, I don't know. Like, we don't know. Like, and he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I fucking super down. I'm down for the art. I'm down for the fucking Thomas Campbell. I'm down for Nat Russell. I'm down for Mason Distribution. And like, let's go.
Hit the payphone. What up?
And I was like, dude, all right, then it's a go. And then I called up, Dylan Christopher. I was like, dude, you want to be our TM? Like, come on. Like, we need a TM, and then boom, ABC. And then now it's a live living organism.
Are you thinking, treating the whole thing like a dynamic where if you're to bring somebody new onto the team, like everybody's got to agree before, like, it's not just like this person rips. It's like, no, how do we get along with them also?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, the van in skateboarding, van dynamic is like the most important thing.
Right.
Like, do you want to like jump in a van with somebody that you're like, this sucks? Like, you want to get on tour and be stoked, and you want to feel free to be yourself so that you can skateboard the best that you can.
Sure.
Yeah. And so that's definitely the like thing. It's like, of course, dude, it needs to be an all inclusive, decision between everyone that's on the company,
I feel like, to me, that's like one of the most obvious things, but that a lot of companies don't do it. They just go like, this dude rips, he rips, she rips. We got the vert guy, this guy, here it is. And it's like, nobody likes each other and everybody's like, what the fuck is this? Whereas like, if you got like Baker or something, all those dudes are homies. They're skating together all day, and you just feel it and see it. And you're like, that is skateboarding, friends.
Totally. Exactly. And we can't lose sight of that too, because I mean, we are working for a big industry and it's growing, and more people are picking up skateboards, and
that's crazy.
And so like the fact to have UMA landsleds as like a piece and a part of it, like that is a dream. I always want to give back to skateboarding like it has done for me, It really, really blessed my life with the opportunity to feel happy and to feel like I can make my creative endeavor something that I can put out there and not completely be dead ass broke. And that's the thing, is for all the kids out there, there is a place for you, How do you create this, Well, you got a good video part, you're skating to some good music, put that shit out there, get yourself out there. Don't be scared. Like, you have to try. You have to jump in the van with people you don't know sometimes.
Little Timmy might go in there and drown.
And they will teach you the way. I know they will.
Yeah. You'll learn real quick what to not do.
Oh,
you might not learn what to do, but you'll learn what not to do.
Oh, all blown it. That's for sure.
Yeah. How did the UMA landslides, what is that? where's that dynamic from? Like, it's not a reference to Uma Thurman, right?
Are you out of your mind?
No, that's amazing. No, we had actually joked a lot once we settled on a name.
Because I was like, dude, what if you got Una Ferrar on Uma Landsleds? It would be almost cooler than the first girl on girl skateboards.
Oh my God, exactly, dude. That's legendary.
Yeah,
no, I always talk about it. I'm like, dude, can we make an Uma Thurman graphic? Like, what is up? but no, it was kind of Thomas Campbell's just secret blah. You know, he's like, dude, don't make a name that's real something. Leave it open ended, like Uma. What do you think of Uma? And me and Cody, we actually go, I don't know, man. Yeah, dude.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, dog.
And so some people call it UMA, and so it doesn't. I don't think that a name necessarily, what I've learned through that 10-year endeavor of trying to find a really nice name, I don't think it necessarily really, really matters. If you understand the feeling and you understand the art.
I skateboard, but I'm an artist. I love art and I love you.
And you understand that it's a progression of these people and what are they trying to accomplish? What are they trying to do? And yeah, so it's more, that's what we've been focusing on. You know, we don't even have a logo. Just the words are a logo, you know?
Because that's what I was thinking is you're dealing with two fucking pretty, these aren't just a regular artist, guys. These are two artists that are excelling in what they do, and they take a lot of thought to what they do. So in my mind, I'm the first thing as an artist, and I'm not an artist, but I'm just thinking along what they would think is how's this going to look? What font do we use? What script? Is this going to look cool on a sticker? Is this going to look cool on the top of the board? Are those things coming to mind when you're thinking of the names? I always trip on when you come up with a name, the name's rad, but oh shit, it might not look cool on a sticker this long, you know? So you got to put all this weird shit. And I, as working with artists, you got that part taken care of because they're nah, we got it. Don't even trip on that.
Yeah. No, it's just a personal interpretation thing. I think that's what the cool part about going into galleries is that you might see just a name Jesus Christ! Centennial Dragon Head.
Is that real?
And that's the name of the piece, you know? And you're looking at it and you're well, there's no dragons, you know, but it gives you a feeling, you know? Say Andy Warhol, and he's doing a piece on, you know, how, you know, the meat production companies are just X amount of government bullshit, and he'll make these really political pieces, but when you see the art, you're ooh, that's a feeling. That's Andy Warhol. You know, every time you look at a can of tomato soup, don't you feel that? He didn't call it Andy's Campbell's soup art,
right?
He just left it up to a personal interpretation of feeling, something that you can relate to personally.
Okay.
And that's kind of where rock and roll is, and music and all that stuff too. It's a thread of what they call logarithmics, and the spectrum of sound from the low frequencies to the high frequencies. So when you're tuning a PA for a live show or something, you make sure you go through all those frequencies and you make sure all your microphones are lined up correctly to it. Same thing is with art. I mean, certain colors work together. Certain lines look cool.
Right.
Certain crossing of lines doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And that all is going to be personal interpretation as an artist and as a viewer.
Right.
That's a cool part about what we do. And that goes to our skateboarding too. I mean, we skate, we put in hours fucking launching our carcasses downstairs. And then next thing you know, you put some music to it and then it creates this fabric. And then you're oh, Caro Foster.
Most people, they have gouges right there and there should be blood coming out, but I just have gouges.
You know, you're oh, built to spill. You're that is beautiful, you know? So, you know, that interpretation of it.
That's that part sticks out a lot to me, actually. I'm on the same page with you. Cairo's transworld part with built to spill is I'm not gonna. Oh man, it gives me goosebumps sometimes.
Dude, it just makes me be really, really proud to be a skateboarder.
Yeah. what are you doing with the company besides ripping the shit out of every spot on your skateboard? Are you doing any other things like behind are you computing at all? Are you like doing any sales or like, are you ideas man? Like what role do you have?
Dude, actually I just started jumping in on meetings, to help Andy Jenkins with a little bit of the creative direction.
Okay.
I really, really love everything that he's doing as far as like the layout of the art and everything like that. But it's cool. He's always like, dude, I just want people to bounce shit off of and like collaborate with. And, I just did a little bit of art today. We started making newspapers that we insert in the boards in the cellophane. So then you get a little bit of some bonus in our
I
boards.
love that.
And they open up huge into these large art pieces. And it's just like, yeah, really rad. And it's really, those little simple things really go far. So, and anytime you have a cool idea, I'm always looking on social and stuff for new artists to work with and just different people that like we resonate with and that I think would be cool, to work with and expand the brand and then use this platform as a way to get their art out there and our skating out there. And just let the skating sell the stuff. Like don't complicate it too much. We're not like, doing rocket science here.
Right.
Just making rad art, rad skateboards and
keep it fun, right? Like it has to be fun.
Yeah. You know how that is.
Definitely. Yeah. So what do we got for your home? Do you call Florida your home or Pittsburgh your home or like, where are they both kinda, or like what? Cause I know you kind of were raised partly in Florida and then moved to Pittsburgh. Is that right?
Yeah, I was in Florida, till I was about 16, but every summer I'd go up and visit my uncle. And one summer he just invited me he's like, hey, do you want to learn how to build a skate park? And I was like, yep. And so I went up, I jumped on the crew and we did construction for 5 months, made a huge skate park. And then I just didn't leave. I just was like, dude, I'm going to stay and skate the park. And I just stayed there even through the winters. And then we started working on our music venue, Mr. Small's Theater. And that is huge. We have national touring acts coming through there. So it was just like 14 years.
You were doing sound, right?
I was doing construction.
Oh, this is the guy we're looking for.
Electrical and walls and just the whole thing. It was like a really rad experience to actually learn how to like become a carpenter,
Yeah.
And like that type of knowledge you can't really get like in a book. You just be on a crew, And so, I learned how to use some tools and stuck around Pittsburgh. I started learning how to play rock and roll. And now I'm in a band with the drummer from All Them Witches rocking out. And
damn,
it's just like crazy. Like, yes, you feel vulnerable when you try to get yourself into these types of situations. Like I didn't know how to use a hammer the first time I got to a crew.
Yeah.
But I learned how to denail an entire pile of wood by the end of the day.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes, like I got in the studio with these really advanced musicians and I was super vulnerable, but I think it's just about putting yourself out there, trying to hit some new notes. And now I'm a lead singer for UV Ways. And it's just like, that's insane, And I really resonate with the music. It's like heavy stoner rock.
Okay.
And it's like some really cool stuff. We have one album out now on Spotify, which is like, we kind of made it in like a weekend. It was just like really ebb and flowing mushroom trip type of thing. And then eventually we went back into the studio, we finited our sound. And now the second album, UV Ways 2 is really, really cool. I'm really excited for the launch and the world to hear it,
When's that?
I'm thinking we're going to be done by spring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
Are you still playing instruments or just singing?
Oh yeah, I definitely play like guitar and keys and like bass. I'm not like the best drummer, but like I totally like play instruments. Like I'm working on this Grimple song right now and I'm playing, all the stuff, keys, drum pad, bass, guitar, and then putting some vocals on top of it. And that's just like, I don't know. In music, I see it as like I'm a producer. Like I'm not like a virtuoso musician. I just produce sounds and feelings that I think, like the art stuff we were talking about, something to portray a feeling.
No, I was gonna say, have you ever jammed with Frankie? Frankie will play the drums every once in a while.
Yeah. Okay, I'm supposed to play a random skate rock gig with Frankie, and Phelps was on lead guitar. And I was on vocals for like half of it, and then Frank didn't show up for the gig. He was just like, nah. And then Jake picked a random drummer who was so insane. We had like just met him that night. It was like,
where's this?
This was in Ecuador.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and it was a straight South American surprise, and this drummer starts ripping. I was like, Jake, give me the guitar. And so I give him the microphone. The crowd's just like going full bonanzas. We start ripping the show. I'm like playing guitar. Like there's a bunch of like footage of it in the Keto edit, the Ecuador edit Spitfire video. I'm like playing, we're doing our thing. And dude, the like venue owner was like, you guys got to stop. Like people are going too crazy. It's like, dude, you fucking wanted us to play. Like people are moshing, getting stomped out. People are passing out. Shit. I remember crowd surfing off the stage into the rafters and going up to the backstage, which was above everything else, like climbing up, and then like people throwing us beers up through the ceiling, and then the cops showing up and a full raid happening. Like at least 20 cops on motorcycles, like cleared out the entire venue. And like, it was just like a riot in the streets. And like, people were like fighting against the cops. And dude, we played for a minute and a half. And then in the middle of this, like, we're like, a minute and a half in, and this was like the ending point. Like, I remember Jake like saw this girl across the crowd, and she started walking towards him, and he started looking at her.
When you hit party time.
And then eventually
that's that photo where
dude, he just went up to her and just kissed her. And then the crowd went even crazier, than a riot happened. It was like
he told me about that. He was like, dude, felt per charm. I don't know how it happened, but
it was insane, dude. Like fucking rock and motherfucking roll, dude.
Rules.
R.I.P. to my man. I think about him every day.
Obviously, you've never lived in this body.
Same. They put up the still watching billboard in San Francisco. They didn't even tell me. And I'm just out on a walk. It's 8 blocks from my house. I'm on a walk and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like staring at me. And now every morning I kind of walk. I'm like, the old man's still haunting me.
Oh yeah. And you probably just grabbed a bottle and just threw it.
I wanted to so bad. What do you remember, like your first encounter with him? Do you remember like one of the first times meeting Jake?
I mean, I had met him around and stuff, but we jumped on a Spitfire trip with P-Stone through like Zurich, and like CK was on it, Stone, like Louis Lopez, and like, dude, it was just like the whole crew. John Alden took care of everybody.
Ashad too, right?
Ashad, and dude, yeah, the list goes on. Raven, Grant, like it was just the squad, and dude, we had so much fun. I think we started off the tour in like Milan, and like me and Preston had like dropped acid inside of a truck, and then the end of the night came and we were acid dropping off the dump truck.
Oh my goodness.
It was so fucking crazy. And then, Preston and Jake were rooming, and I just would pass out on the floor, and like, he was just really real with me always about everything. He was really tap in and always be really real. So we would sit like early mornings, like P-Stone would wake up at like 5:30 and like dump his cards and edit footage and stuff.
Yeah.
He'd wake up and he'd try to get me every day. He'd be like, hey, Evs, wake up. We got to tell you something. He'd be like, he'd crack him. I'd be like, what, dude? Like,
Here, take a rip first.
I gotcha.
and like, dude, it was just so fun. Like, and I really resonate with, you know, Stone and Phelps heavy. My favorite P-Stone one though, before I go on, is on that tour. I think like John Alden and Preston had gotten into like this fist fight, and I was like mediating the whole situation.
Oh,
it was just like heated for a second, but homie style. Like it wasn't like a crazy thing. We just had to get it out real quick, and then it was just all love. Go back to the house, and it's like 5 a.m. Me and P-Stone are like finally finding a place to pass out. He's like laying on the hardwood floor. I'm like laying on the hardwood floor next to him. He's like facing the other way. I like finally start dozing off, and I just hear like
he just rips.
He just kept farting for like a minute and a half and laughing. And then, dude, everybody just woke up and we just started the day. We just didn't even sleep. We just like got up at 6, fired it back up, fucking dumped the cards, got back in the van, went skating all day. You know, like,
yeah.
It was cool, man.
There was no one more proud of their farts than P-Stone, I'm pretty sure.
Dude, it was so funny. He'd drink so much damn beer that he'd have these crazy farts. And all the European brews are just like really malted.
The one that I wasn't there for, but he told me this story is the best, because I don't know if you know this, but he always carried like a garbage bag in his camera bag. And I was like, what the hell is that for? And he's like, one time I was on a train in Japan. I really had to take a shit. He's like, thing came in handy. I actually shit in the bag on the train. I was like, are you fucking? So he's like, he's got all these techniques with his fucking cut the tops of the socks for wipes and stuff. Like,
dude, oh yeah. Dude, the funniest thing is he'd always bring Big Red on a trip, you know? That was his big Thrasher duffel bag.
Yeah.
And he'd have that thing over his shoulder, camera bag on the back, and just pushing through the whole city all day, you know? And I remember like one time, like he like was filming, he's over there in the bushes, like doing his thing. And I saw Big Red, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is in here, dude? I opened it up. He had a fucking huge monkey wrench in there. He had a fucking a rim of a car tire. Dude, like all these crazy cables that like, I don't know, like I know sound and music. Dude, I don't know what kind of, they weren't RCA cables. They weren't XLR cables. It was just like, what is all this? He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to make something with those Evs. Don't worry about it. like, oh my God, dude. Like, he had a wrench, a big ass monkey wrench skating around on his back all day. I was like, dude, you are insane.
If we get past 1:30 a.m., look out.
He had that for so long, but he's like, you know what I got that's even I've had longer? And he pulls out his wallet. He's like, my uncle gave this to me, 8th grade. And he's like,
my God.
I was like, there's no fucking way you got a wallet from 8th grade. He's like, yeah.
And you know that's valid too. When you're talking to Preston, he doesn't just make this shit up. You know what I mean? It's like
that's how I thought of Jake when I first met him. I was like, this is the world's biggest liar. Like everything he said was so like mind blowing. And you're like, no, this is real. And then you just have one experience with him and you're like, oops, everything he said's real.
Tyshawn Jones, sucker.
Holy shit.
Insane,
this guy lives that life. It's insane.
It's valid. It's fucked, man. I don't understand how he can live such a charismatic life. You know what I mean? And he had love for everybody. But everybody was like, fuck you, Jake. You know, at one point in your entire life. Dude, you'd have
he told me, man, I swear to God, he told me so many times, he was like, Schmitty, watch, when I'm dead, everybody's going to come out of the woodworks and say how rad Phelper was. All these guys that hate me. I was like, they got a billboard fucking in SF. So
straight up
predicted that one. It's so crazy.
It's just really cool that we could pick up on, you know, Talkin Schmit, because, you know, some of the last times that we spent together, me, you, and him, were, you know, on the radio show. And you know, those are some really beautiful times. I remember one time he didn't show up, and then Frankie G did it for him.
That's how Frank got involved. Was that time was we're like, dude, Evan's here. We what do we do? Frank, are you down? And he was like, And then next thing you know, it was cool, man. Yeah, like that sparked it for me. Like Jake would have me kind of be the production, the sound, the Baba Booey or whatever. And I was like, whoa, this is rad. Like I should try to do this on, my side deal or something. And then I was doing it for about a year, and then P-Stone was already gone, but Jake passed, and I was like, why couldn't I have at least got him? Because we always talked about, but it was just, we'll do it eventually. And then that was a bummer for me because there's a lot of things. I know so much about the guy from being with him so much, but there's so many questions I had. I just wanted to get into a couple things, but fuck yeah, I miss it.
Dude, I'm really, really thankful and grateful that you had picked up right where he left off with that stuff, because the interviews that you're doing with people, they're just great. And it's really great to see people's personalities, where they're at in their current state, and how they're contributing to skating in the world. And I mean, the questions you're asking, the things that you're doing, and the people you have on the show, it's just really great.
Thanks,
so
man.
I'm a big fan. I'm really proud of you. I love talking.
Fuck, dude, I appreciate that so much. I'm really stoked that you're here and that we're having this moment, because we've been talking about it and our schedules are, and then it's like,
that was crazy.
Oh, here it goes.
Cracking off at least though, dude. Like at least we have something going, dude. Like I don't want to get stuck ever, because I don't know if I don't know if I can actually live with myself if I didn't have something to do.
I know the feeling. Groundhog's Day is not that fun.
Dude, it really sucks. So if I'm not skating, I'm making a tune, I'm working, I'm doing construction, or thinking about the next project or the next trick, or, you just got to keep your mind going. You got to keep yourself escalating.
Right. So that early stuff with your folks and stuff, that kind of shaped who you were with the no hotels and everything. It's just dude, I don't need much. Let's go.
Dude,
that's what makes you the perfect road dog for skate trips, is you're just do you collect anything? I can't imagine that do you have a collection somewhere? Do you ship stuff to a certain, your family member's house has all your stuff, or do you not have that much stuff?
Well, definitely I have a small obsession with little metal objects. When I was a kid, I used to just walk around the streets and pick up little metal objects and build shit out of them and stuff.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuck with me. I know that sounds kind of fried or anything, but it's the little things in life, Yeah. And
so you don't collect boards or anything?
Totally. Yeah. If I see a graphic that I gotta have, I got my Winkowski board on my wall in my room, it's one of my favorite graphics I ever seen. And, and then, dude, just more and more people start making stuff and being involved with, Grimple sticks. And when I saw the Night Hammer, I was like, I have to have that. Yes. So I would definitely walk out of trips with stacks of boards and random keychains that had little toy cars on them. And, just little things, little novelty items that when I look at them, I feel really the nostalgia of that trip and the vibe.
Oh, dude. Absolutely. Yeah. I went on a trip with Peter Hewitt years ago. And it was, I think, our first trip together. And at the end of the trip, or somewhere in the trip, he gave me this little Hot Wheel, and I still got it on my book. I was Pete gave me that so early on. It's I know what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about, dude. Those are the little things that keep you going on the daily. When you get a little bit down or something, you see that Hot Wheel car and you're like, oh, I'm gonna fire it up. That's fire it up. I'm gonna stand up, take a couple deep breaths, hit a stretch, and I'm gonna just launch my skateboard down the street,
Absolutely. Do you got any new age games you're playing on the road? Is there any van shenanigans that's we always did the what game with the beers, but is there anything like that you guys got going that you're doing to help pass time or anything?
Dude, it's just constant antics. You know what it's like in the van. Every trip has a different one, dude. It's something every trip, dude.
Yeah.
So I try not to try to bring too much from the other trips, because sometimes you want to create the new thing. You want to feel the new thing. Where are you at with this crew?
Right.
And skateboarding is like that. You jump from van to situation to situation, to skate park to skate park. And, we all like the same music. and we're always playing this game. It's pretty fun. It's like you sing a little hook. It's called hooks. You sing a hook of a song, and then somebody's got to guess it. And if they guess it, then so if you go like "Since you've been gone,"
okay,
and like, you say the artist, then it would be your turn to pick the hook, and then you just keep that going for hours. It's like a kind of a skate camp type of vibe thing, but.
Yeah, we used to have something similar where we would play a song and be like, whose video part? Like we would play that Built to Spill song and be like, who skated to this? And you're like, Cairo.
Yeah. Now that's into the big three. Like who skated to it? There's something, who skated to it, and then their last trick. I can't just think of it. So you gotta guess like all the fun. Oh yeah, what part, who skated to it, and their last trick, I think.
Okay.
So that's
Cairo Foster, Transworld Video, Nolly Hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but it's like that's fun, and like that's the shit. It's like keeping that stuff going, those van antics and those little things, they keep you going on those long drives,
What's one of your opposite King of the Road trips that was like maybe like the most like if you were going with Tony Hawk style, like where you're just living almost a 5-star dream? Like it's like, whoa, do you get those? Does DC give you any of those or like what?
Yeah. One time
you been to Dubai or somewhere where you're just like,
I wish. I mean, insane. But we toured through like Southeast Asia. And the rep Huddy, he had like put us up in really nice like spots, and it was just like a really crazy situation. I was still pretty young, and like I said, coming from a couple like hard times, and then jumping into this, it felt like I was like, dude, I don't even know if I deserve this. Like this is just like really special and beautiful, and then we'd be traveling around to these skate spots, which were just so good. And so the combination of like being treated good and like eating nice food, and then them taking care of like our bar tabs and like just like that, you're just like, what are we doing? Like we're skateboarders. Like we should not be like, I want to be in the band on King of the Road, That's what I want to be trying to get some points and doing some random shit that might ruin my career,
Speaking of King of the Road, I was thinking about this today. The what was it? Nolly Tray handrail.
The fucking Shane O'Neill Nolly Tray front board. Now Shane do that shit.
Was that the first King of the Road you went on?
Yeah, that was before it got covered by Viceland.
Okay, so when the book gets open and you're looking through that stuff, had you ever thought about that trick in your mind, or was this like, whoa, look at this, and then you started trying to like figure out like, is this even possible?
Dude, that's exactly what happens. Is like there's so many like curveball, challenges, and just the miscellaneous challenges are insane. Like grossest thing eaten, and like all the
pooping out of his tree into a shoe.
Dude, like like so many crazy situations. Like fucking goddamn it, this is crazy. But then there was like 540 body jar, and that was one that I really wanted to do, but I didn't have the courage to do it. But then after King of the Road came around, I kind of figured out that you got to alley-oop it. You can't just like go long ways and then body jar and then go airball. You want to kind of go up front side, then start turning backside, and that'll put you right over the lip, and then whoop-ah, hit your tail,
I could see that. Yeah.
And so I was like, dude, it opened up my mind to definitely so many new possibilities. And, on long trips, I definitely think that it's about, inventiveness and, inventing new ideas or taking heritage tricks and trying to put your spin on it and hitting your tail harder, going high, doing things like that. And that's what's cool about skating is, there's been so many tricks that have been invented over the years that it's just like, I'm still seeing people invent new things. I still see new skateboarding, it's an open-ended book. That's what makes it so beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't even know how long ago, but I remember like people being like, what more can be done? It was like, that was a long time ago. It was like a lot more can be done.
Oh yeah.
Don't you worry about that.
22.
So 2021 Thrasher magazine covers. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Like you and T-Funk just put yourselves both into my top 5 favorite covers of all time.
Dude, T-Funk's cover. Oh,
T-Funk's cover is still not real.
Dude,
it's still not real.
Like I've never been able to just carve the big bench.
Yeah.
You know, I just never figured it out. Never skated there long enough to do it.
I couldn't believe when I saw the photo, because I had heard about it. I was like, no way did he do it. Okay. But if he did do it, I think I know how he did. He rode up and did a quick ollie and kept riding. And then I saw the photo. I was like, wait, he ollied the whole.
No, he ollied the whole.
And he's in the air above the lip. You're just like,
dude, he did it like it's a channel. And apparently he saw the footage and he said, it's unbelievable. Like,
yeah, Frank told me the same. I was like, oh my.
He said he did legit. And I appreciate the compliment, dude. I've been looking at the Bay Bridge ollie for my entire life, you know, since the first time.
We gotta talk about that. Yeah.
Dude, it was just like
every time you would come to the city, you would notice that.
I'd just be like, dude, you can ride on that little truss and then you can ollie over the little U part and then go down the fucking rolling. You know, it's like perfectly set up to do it. And I never obviously had the courage to, because one, I figured and calculated that of course you're going to go to jail. Like first things first is you're going to get arrested on the bridge. So what we had to do is we had to sacrifice that concept, you know, and I told Packy before, it's like, hey, we're definitely proud. We drove up from Southern California and then we did it on the way into the city. And I was like, dude, we're not going to make it to like the house. Like we're going to be in jail for the night. Just prepare yourself. And sure enough, dude, we get the photo. And
what do you do though? First, do you drive onto Treasure Island, park the car, and like you guys like suss out angles and stuff, and then?
Well, we talked about it the whole drive up, you know, and it was totally like pull on to Treasure Island, walk, and then you have to cross the Bay Bridge in, you know, full traffic. So I was like, at 6 o'clock when like traffic is as thick as possible and moving as slow as possible. You know, so that people, if my board shoots over or if I fall off the bridge or something, you know, like that, it would just be like a little bit less than cars going 70 past us. So the time ended up being good. The sun was going down, really foggy day. You couldn't even see the photo, but I always thought it was like the hero picture where you get the ollie, the bridge, and then SF to the right, you know?
Yeah.
But it was really cool. It ended up being really spooky. And so we do the thing, we walk, and I was like, all right, Pappy, let's go. Let's get it. And like, I went up to the one on the right and I was like, dude, it's totally possible. Like, I just like rode on it. I just jumped it with my feet. And I was like, dude, let's go to the other side, you know, for the photo. And we crossed traffic, we stopped cars, like did our thing there. And nonetheless, there's cameras looking at the bridge coming out of the tunnel, you know? So it's like, you're not going to be able to really like get away with it. Like,
yeah, this is post 9/11. There's security fucking cameras everywhere.
And there was this sick BLM movement where they shut the bridge down the weekend before. And they protested across the bridge or something. And so like, it was like a really touchy situation. So the cops pulled out their, you know, we got the photo, did our thing. I started trying to do kickflips over it. And I got kind of close. And I was like, dude, we got to get this kickflip. Like I got hyped, you know? And like I like landed on my foot on one and I was like, oh, dude, we got to keep trying. Yeah, Ray was across the street and Cody was across the street. And Rye. And he's like, cops. Rye's like, cops. And I'm like, oh shit, like, all right, it's our time, you know, and I'm on the truss. Packy's like on the sidewalk. Packy takes his camera, puts it in his bag, and he didn't like take the memory card out and put it in his pocket. So the cops arrested us. They ended up pulling their weapons and we're like, no, we know we're getting arrested. Like, this is illegal. Like, it's all good. And they're like, dude, you guys are stupid, like yelling at us. Okay. And we're like, dude, we know, like, I already know like what we're doing here. And then like, I get in the cop car and I'm handcuffed in the front seat like, I don't know what there's like this new protocol. And so I'm like right next to the cop. And he's like, how stupid can you be? And I was like, dude, like, no, like we're shooting a photo that I've always wanted to do. Like, you can't relate with it. And then he's like, everything you say is being recorded. And I was like, good. I was like, do you want to hear what we do for our friends and our family in skateboarding? What do you do for your squad at the cop thing? Nothing. Everybody does their job. They go home. Like I was just telling him about the youth of skateboarding and, our like centerpiece and like all the stuff that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, he switched off the thing and he was like, dude, actually, that was crazy. I'm like backing it. I was like, oh my God. So we get to the cop station. They had confiscated the camera with the memory card. They took it to an evidence locker and Pappy's in a different car. And so I look out the window and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Just like mouthing. He's just like so upset. He's like, they just took like all of his equipment, and that's how he makes shooting photos. So
right.
He just so upset. He didn't even realize that was even going to be a part of it. Plus they had the photo in the evidence locker.
Uh-huh.
Took us to jail. And the entire time we're like, dude, how do we get our camera back? Like, we're just trying to get our camera back. And they're like, oh, you're going to have to settle that up with a certain blah, blah, blah. But they took us to 850 Bryant, which is a pretty legendary
Frisco icon.
And I remember Jake telling me stories about 850 Bryant and getting locked up there and stuff.
RBL posse, dog.
And me and Pappy got put in the same like holding cell. And he like lightened up. He's like, okay, this is going to be fine. I'm like, dude, we got this, And in the cell, there was a brown paper bag. It was the only thing in the cell. And so we passed like 5 hours of time, like making paper airplanes, like shooting spitballs at the door, like just like trying to get sandwiches. Cause they actually had like these insanely good turkey sandwiches.
Really?
Yeah. And so we were like trying to get sandwiches from the guards. And then we took our mug shots and like everything was actually okay. Like we were fine. We ended up getting let out with a court date. And we still didn't have the camera at that point. And the court date was about a month and a half afterwards. So he had to buy a new camera, which I helped him with that because I'm completely responsible for the situation. I told him that whatever he needs, let me try to help. And he it's like, all right, gets a new camera, does his shooting for the month or whatever. We go back, we get all tightened up in our suits, ready to see the judge and see what our actual real sentence is and if we're actually going to be able to get the memory card. And at that point, he's like, I don't care about the camera. I just want the memory card. He's like, I just need that photo,
Yeah.
And we walk in, our case ended up being dismissed. We didn't even see the judge. And then we go to the so whatever it is. There's another department that the evidence locker was in.
The DA.
The DA?
District attorney?
Yeah, exactly. The DA.
Yeah.
And we're at the DA's office trying to explain to him like, hey, we need to get our stuff back. And they like wouldn't let us get it. We had to go through like a couple hoops. And then finally we get the camera. Packy runs down the sidewalk, like full speed in a suit, like giddy as a schoolgirl, just yelling at the top of his lungs. We open up the camera, memory card still in there, photos still on it, sent it right to Burnett. And we're just like, oh my God. Like we didn't even expect him to run it as a cover. Like we just wanted to get it. And like, I figured it'd be in the mag. That's worth it,
Uh-huh.
And like, I'm just going to publicly say, Burnett, thank you so much because that meant the world to me, to be able to get my 4th Thrasher cover in 2021, when I'm starting a new brand during a pandemic, and it's Alex Papke's first cover.
That rules. What a one. He raised the bar. He went Pat Duffy on covers. Now he raised his bar too high for his first one.
I mean, come on, that's like,
so proud of that moment. I'm so proud of him.
Dude, I'm proud of you guys too. I mean, Rye didn't have to go to jail though, because he was on the other side. Is that right?
Yes, that's the thing, is like Rye and Cody were on the other side and they hid behind the barrier. So the intro of Punch a Hole in the Sky is Rye being like, Cody, like, shh, shh. And Cody filming through the hole of the barrier, Pappy getting arrested, and then them like jetting when the cops took off. And like they pulled it. And while we're in the car, they were like, we know you're in a van. Like, who else are you with? You know what I mean? And like, we both like, didn't give them any information. And like,
oh my God, that's
we pulled it. And it's because of Rye. It's because of Pappy. It's because of Dylan, Cody. Like, and that was Roman's first trip too.
Oh, shit.
He was in the van too, like hyping it up the whole way. And like,
what a cool thing to be a part of. Yeah.
Really
yeah.
Experience. And then when it got ran, I was in New Mexico and my 1968 Ford Chevy dump truck, the alternator blew out and I'm on the side of the highway trying to fix my truck. I got wrenches and I get a text message and it's just a photo of the cover. And I almost got up and like jumped into traffic. Like I didn't even know what to do. Like I was so excited, dude, because at Plus Orlando, a buddy of ours, he had put blow-ups of all my covers, and it was 3. And then there's a slave poster holding the 4th spot for like the 4th cover.
No way.
So for like the last 3 years, I've been trying, to get a cover to fill the spot.
Yeah.
And I was just like, ah! And then like the homies, and now like it's hung with the other covers, and it's just like, dream come true,
What was your first cover?
My first ever cover was shot by Rodent for the skateboard mag.
Skateboard mag.
Yeah, the skateboard mag. And it was a frontside ollie in a full pipe, and he shot it with a round lens.
Oh. So it's like a crazy perspective.
Yep. My first Thrasher cover was the ollie over
in Oakland, right?
Rail in Oakland down
that's
rolling. And then the second was the kickflip wall ride in Philadelphia, shot by Blayback.
Shout out.
Yeah. So it was Broach, Blayback, and then Burn Dog, the backside 540 with the dirt board. King of the Road cover.
Yeah.
And then this is the last one, Alex Pappy on the Bay Bridge.
That first Thrasher cover that you ollied over is like a Judd Hertzler spot, I think. Like he didn't ollie into it, but he rode down, I think, and slapped maybe.
Dropped into it. Yeah, he dropped into it. It was right around the corner from Dylan Christopher's parents' house.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So he was just like, dude, I want you to check this spot out. I think you can ollie over the rail.
Was that the same weekend that you came and we skated Miley together?
Yeah, same weekend.
Dude, that was a huge weekend. And we skated that ollie over the rail, the downhill. That's not there anymore, but dude,
yeah, that was the first time I hit the top ropes at Miley too.
That was my first time meeting Marius, actually, I think. Or not Marius,
Matters.
I have a YouTube channel.
That's another M from Euro. Yeah, Matters. Remember, he was skating there too with you at Miley.
Yeah, he got the crook fakie over the corner that day as well.
Dude, okay, 2021, getting back to the original thing. This year has been super crazy because obviously pandemic, lockdown, mask, no mask, politics, no politics, everything we all know about.
Jake, everybody's girlfriend.
But somehow what people aren't realizing is I think Thrasher had the best year of covers I've seen in a long while, which tells me that skateboarding is on fire, kids. And I want to know from you is who is going to be skater of the year? Who are our picks for who are like going to be the final 5 or like who's in there? I mean, we got to, I think from my perspective, Yuto maybe is in there. He's had one. Yeah.
Big time. I would personally hope as well too, that Pedro Delfino.
Ooh.
And another one was Kyle Walker. I know he's been Scody before, but his part was so next level. I mean, like, I was just thankful that like the UMA video came out before Kyle's video because he brought the heat, man.
Hey, there was so many good parts this year. And the thing I always say is, if you want Skater of the Year, which is already kind of a weird thing, like running for Skater of the Year, I never gravitated towards that. I think it's just skate all year and whoever, you'll figure it out. But if you drop a part in January or February, it's going to be hard to remember you because there's a lot of parts that come in between then and November. But like Ryan DeCenzo, Mark Suchu, Chima's part was sick.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Chima could be like Sodi.
Yeah.
Dude, that part was just as heavy too. Like so many legendary things. And if you skate some of that stuff in Australia, it's gnarly. You know?
Right. No,
like,
I know.
Spots are not easy. That double set ollie is probably the longest ollie I've ever seen.
It was fucked up.
It was fucked up. And like, dude, the level of skateboarding is rising. And now everyone and their mom can do like a triple kickflip and land primo on a flat bar and like grind it and then go into dark slide and then like 3 ship.
Tony Hawk's video game became reality. It's crazy.
Dude, yeah. What did you do to us?
Well, from my perspective, and I know I'm a little biased, but I work at Thrasher and I've lived my whole life in the Bay Area and I have a lot of love for San Francisco.
Oh,
so
yeah.
when I see somebody come to my town and get the cover in my town, you and T-Funk are definitely in the running for Sodi for me.
Dude, T-Funk is like, dude, I've seen a lot of his footage that he has right now and it's so crazy.
Is he going to drop that before this year?
Dude, I hope so. I have no idea.
He's crazy though, huh? Like even that, what was it? The Supreme video where he hits that corner going Mach 5 and then like ollies onto a front wall ride. It's just like, what?
Oh, yeah. No, that was Baker. That was Baker video.
Okay, Baker, yeah.
And dude, I mean, like just all the stuff he's doing is like really natural to him. And he's really personally really happy. He's been living in SF and he's been like skating out. He's been bombing hills nonstop. And it's just like, I see him being free. And, as a friend and a fan, that's all I could hope for. And it's showing in his skating and his clips. Like, he's so badass, dude. Like, I mean, that he's up there on the list big time,
Yeah, dude.
Who else? We got a couple other contenders out there. I mean, like, there's just like hard to jog my mind because I just been like, watching so much good skateboarding this year.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, so here's how I look at it. And this isn't how it works, but just how it works for me is once you get Sodi, like Ashad could be Skater of the Year every year, but I don't put him in my list because I'm thinking of like, this is a year for like Wes Kramer, like, like that was his year. Like, let's give it to Wes. Like, even though maybe Ashad could have been it that year. Like some of these guys could be Skater of the Year every year is what I'm trying to say. Right.
Yeah,
and Chris Cole and Danny Way are the only two to ever get it twice. So I don't think it's something that they really want to do too often. I don't know. I mean, DeCenzo had a super gnarly part early in the year. He's always fucking going buck.
Dude, I hope he wins Trick of the Year at least. Dude, that tray flip was insane.
Yeah, the ditch, right?
Mm-hmm. And I bet, I mean, just looking at like the wide shot of how little he looked, like a little bug just like tray flipping off and then landing in the humongous unforgiving bank headed right towards a river.
I got so much love and respect for DeCenzo because of one thing he has done with us, which was amazing. When Felper ordered the biggest kickflip like a pizza, he's like, Ryan, you're coming up. I got the double set. You're kick flipping it. And it's going to be fucking New Year's Eve.
Wow.
And boom, there he is. And there we are. And he made it. And it was just like, woo. Not a lot of people are going to come through like that.
That boy can skateboard. It is insane, dude. Yeah, I've always been a big fan. He's a good kid, He's always got a smile on his face.
And then Yuto, for me, is just so well-rounded. Like, when I saw that he could skate vert the way he does, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, we know how good he is in the streets, but he can skate everything.
He won the Olympics and got Skater in the Year. Dude, it would be crazy. Like,
I kind of feel like winning the Olympics might have kind of I'm not saying this from a Thrasher representation. I'm just saying this as a bro, but it might have lost him some points for Sodi for winning. As crazy as that may sound,
he's already taken care of at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's
gold
funny.
medal representing, you know.
Yeah,
and I really love that that we have this in our community here in skating. That you can bust your fucking ass and you will get represented accordingly. Yeah. And if you're fucking off, then you're not going to get represented accordingly. So it makes us as professionals really on our toes and ready to huck our shit,
I gotta give a shout out to I asked for some questions from the gram, and I got one from Lying Low Skate Shop in Wisconsin. And he asked, what brand of guitar would your signature Starhead body axe be? And what kind of features would it have?
Holy shit. Starhead body axe would definitely be a guitar with a built-in tape space echo. And it would be probably a Fender G&L or maybe a Jazzmaster or a Jaguar, somewhere in that realm. 2 sets of double humbuckers with a space echo embedded in it. So your actual tone is that, you can always put a pedal on after and that's cool. But imagine your actual guitar was like, you hit it and it just was like, you're like, oh my God.
The guitar has been pretty much the same model, more or less, for like the history of guitar. Like they've made some different changes, but like you would think by now they would have shit coming off the neck and stuff, and like all kinds of you could have, instead of a wah-wah pedal, it's a wah-wah hand on your thing or something, I don't know.
Yeah, they got whammy bars and stuff. I mean, Prince was a really, really revolutionary guitar player, and he had people build him some really, really badass guitars. Yeah. And as well, the lead guitar player for King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Your band.
Dude, I love those guys, man. Huge fan. They support skateboarding and everything that we're doing. And dude, he's got people making him all these crazy guitars. He has like this SG, but it's a 12 string, and that's what he did Nanagon Infinity with. And then he had a microtonal guitar, which it looked like a banana kind of. Then he made an album out of that.
Devo had the cloud guitar.
Oh yeah, exactly. Stuff like that where it's just, oh, that's rad, But Prince, he played the Super Bowl and he played Purple Rain on the cymbal, and it was the guitar, and it was raining, and everything was purple, and that was like one of the most legendary performances.
Yeah, my wife saw him on his last tour.
Wow, that's legendary, dude. Yeah, wish that I could see Prince play, and then he passed away, and I didn't get the chance to.
Same. Out of the history of music in the United States, we talk about this and wrestle with this a lot with people. What are your thoughts on the top American band of all time?
All time?
The US's version of the Beatles, who's the best of all time?
Yeah, that is a really, really hard question, because I'm just a fan, and I'm actually a fan of a lot of music not from America. Yeah, what are some of the top? Just give me a top 5 list of some stuff pops in your head, and we could take it from there.
Well, sometimes we change it up, so maybe we'll change it up, because I agree with you. But rock and roll, people say Aerosmith, Van Halen. I can't even think off the top of my head, but then it gets into Devo, and then that gets into what's the best American punk band of all time? And then is Devo punk, and then Black Flag, and Bad Brains, and so we kind of have a lot of discussions going on, but it's just for me, Bad Brains and Guns N' Roses have the 2 best albums of all time from American band. It just gets me pumped. When it's it's so easy, and Brian Anderson skating, or no, it was Brian skated to a different song, but My Michelle. But like, it's just like all that shit brings up all like your when you're young, and that's when you're like learning about things. So like that's what gravitates towards me. A lot of people say Eddie Van Halen, so Van Halen, but you kind of wonder like, okay, but are we talking about David Lee Roth Van Halen, or are we talking about Sammy Hagar Van Halen? Because those are two different bands, and I wasn't really down with Hagar.
But as far as like the depth of that conversation, like the best, like what is the best? A personal interpretation of music. Like I said, you know, what is it? A guitar, a fucking drum set, bass, drums, you know, maybe a little bit of keys and guitar sprinkled in, but the song, that's the song. Everyone plays all the same instruments basically. Right. So it's really common ground.
Yeah.
But I think that like, as far as like a rock and roll band, out of the list you had just said, like my personal favorite is listening to Bad Brains because I like getting hyped up in the van and fucking shotgunning a beer and trying to launch some shit down a rail, or like, and I feel that energy. I've been to a Bad Brains show, and dude, it was a circle stage in Phoenix.
I was there.
And you were there? Yeah. Dude.
Bad shit played with them.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then, dude, you know what's insane? When me and you were watching Andre Nicotina play for K-Walk's, right? Was it K-Walk? No, it was Jamie Foy's party.
Yeah.
And dude, the look on me and your face, we looked at each other, we're singing every lyric, and we just
this
we're
isn't
so
even real. I know.
Dude, it was such a crazy show. That was
the year at Wes's when Naughty by Nature came out. I looked over at Alyssa and her and her girlfriend are like their head was blown. They were just like, no, this is not happening.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing is like, we're talking about Sodi, we're talking about rock and roll, like, but when you put those two things together and you're like, one of your homies gets a skater of the year, and then Nicotina plays, and then like all of us just get to be together and have like that experience, like that's what it's about.
So that's where I'm agreeing with you on this, because a lot of people say Aerosmith's the best band of all time for US because they've won all these awards. They have tons of material and this and that. And I say, for me, I've never put a Aerosmith album on and went to skate or went to a concert or went out to get hyped. Like it's never been my go-to. I did do karaoke to an Aerosmith song with Leo Romero for his Skater of the Year surprise. We went to a bar and we did Dream On. And,
oh my
God. But no, I think like Ramones, Devo, Bad Brains, those are the ones that kind of like, I mean, they didn't have as much material, but they were so influential in a way to like the people that mean a lot to me.
Yeah. Keith Gibbs that runs Plus Orlando, well, his favorite is Devo, and so he is always playing old Devo tracks and like firing it up, and like that's some shit I can jive
Devo's
with,
tough to beat. They have a lot of, and not to mention that fucking the main guy does so much music for movies and all the. Like there's so many movies that he's scored.
Dude, you know, it's just the craziest thing. Like think about the feeling this gives you. Like, twist away that cakes up still. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Oh, dude. They played for free in front of the city hall in SF, like 98 or 99. Was fucked up.
Such a beautiful band. And then they actually do a lot of cool stuff with time signatures, which is rad because like I've, you know, with Starhead Body, the band, we play with a lot of different musicians, and we always slip into these crazy time signatures and stuff. And it's really an influence from that band, you know, influenced me on music.
Who are some bands that are out now that you would love to like go on the road with that like, oh, if I could open for these guys, they're rad right now.
You ever heard of Ohm?
Is it OHM?
It's just OM.
OM. Okay. I don't know.
They have a song it goes Om Triyamya Jomya Jama He Sudam Dem Pushtivad Hamon Odvada kandikavan hana nokcho nokshiamon litade. And it's this female singer, and I think it's the drummer from Sleep.
Ooh, okay.
And I don't know who else makes up the band, because I've like decided that I don't want to know what people look like, because sometimes it kills the band for me.
Yeah.
But Ohm is like something I can listen to every day of my life. And it's they're low tempo numbers in like minor scales, but dude, it resonates like insane. And I think the stuff that we're working on with UV Ways really resonates with Ohm, and really heavy in like drum and bass category, you know, really dark and thick. And a lot of the, by the way, I was singing that based off of my head, but I don't speak Hindi, so I can't like really understand each of those like little pieces of it. I mean, I don't want to offend anyone by, you know, trying to sing along, but the core root of the music resonates with me on such another level. And it's just like, that would be a dream to play with Ohm on tour. That would be like insane.
Well, let's make it happen.
And then as far as like Starhead Body goes, it's a little bit more pop indie driven. And think that like, if I could tour with Animal Collective, like I would be just right up my alley. And I feel like the music that we're working on currently, because the mid time somewhere in 2021, Starhead Body had released a full length record that we worked on the year before. And there was a full piece engineered by Nicholas Stein with Josh Unger on drums, and then myself doing vocals and guitar, and we all played keys. And then it was a really fun project, and it had some really rad stuff in it, but it was like the leading into what I think is the capability. And I don't see Starhead Body as wanting to be a big rock and roll band. I feel like wanting to like add in some flavor. Like on December 3rd, I have a 3-song little EP that I had recorded on our solar setup on the Mesa, and I engineered it and recorded all the stuff. So I've been really focusing on the, you know, the engineer.
You're a busy ass dude, man.
I can't stop. I'm telling you.
Do you drink coffee?
Yeah.
Coffee will be great. Thank you.
Yeah, coffee, and then drink a lot of beers, because they just keep me going, you know?
Okay.
Just keep me going, you know?
Dude.
And that's like the secret motive behind it. Like I used to smoke a lot of pot, but like this past 2 years, you know, I haven't been smoking that much pot at all. It's crazy. Kind of like just like maybe hit.
Does it slow you down a little?
Now I get stoned and I'm like, dude, I'm like
right.
Super low tempo acoustic.
That's why I had to stop. I was just like, I think it got too good. Like I was like, boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden they like up the quality. And I was like, peace out. I'm done.
Is that the weed is like 38% THC weed. I like hit it once. And I'm like,
yeah, it's gnarly these days.
Like,
absolutely.
Big props to all the weed smokers out there. I mean, dude, like fucking tipping my hats to y'all, dude. I've been smoking weed since I was 13 years old, and like now it's just like taking me out.
Well, the Hemi down in fucking San Diego handles business like stoned out of his mind. I'm like, dude, you can, and then it's just like so rad.
Dude, everybody, like the way Tyson Peterson skates, and he smokes big bumbas, dude, all day. And dude, he'll just like, hey, Evs, I need some fucking hype. And I'm like, put on Slayer and like, jump on the craziest rail in 5.0, like an 18 stair rail first try. And then like you're riding away and we're all just like, what just happened? Like, he's just like, dude, I didn't even know. I was so stoned. I just had to do it. It's like, dude, if I was that high, like I would have been in the van fucking listening to my low tempo number from the night before.
Oh, man. This is a tough one, but you have seen a lot.
Seen a lot. But
can you put your finger on one of or the gnarliest thing you've seen happen on a skateboard where you were there?
One, Pedro Barras, Tampa Pro. 2020. We're on the deck, and he attaches Roman candles to his skateboard, and he drops in, grinds over the love seat as fast as he can, and then we thought they went out. By the time he got to the quarter pipe, he launched up double overhead, and then the fucking bottle rocket just exploded off his back. A Roman candle just goes boom right when he hit the apex of his air.
No way.
Yeah, and it was like probably one of the raddest things that I had seen in a long time. And we're like sitting on top of the like Vulcan bus, and like I actually got robbed that night because I was like too faded. I fell asleep in the car with the doors open, and then we robbed. The No Hotels van got robbed, and it was my fault. And I had to buy my friend a new camera. We lost a computer. And we have these like little 25-cent cameras that my buddy Alex Elder uses. He's the one who does all the editing and stuff for No Hotels.
Okay.
For the video stuff and the skate parts. So he uses BX, and then he uses this little 25-cent handy cam, but it's got like a backlight feature on it. So he's been going on eBay finding these cameras and like stocking up because like they're finicky, you know? They're little high-8 cameras, but they have this little backlight thing, and it just saturates the shit out of it and like blows it out. And that's like what we like to look at, you know, a lot of music recorded onto tape, but in the video world, that's kind of the equivalent, you know, something that has a feeling, you know, like when the hockey video came out, I don't know how exactly they had done that, but I'm assuming it had some sort of interface with a high def and an analog capability, component. And so it's definitely like, dude, that's been like the highlight of this whole conversation is what are you making? How are you making it? Oh, it has to have a feeling. It has to have a fabric. How's it going to stand out? Yes, the skateboarding is good. Everybody's good at skating. But what are you trying to portray as a brand? What are you trying to portray as a musician? You know? And so that's like a really good thing, I think, for everyone to keep their mind at and to not let falter, because like, dude, you can hear Eddie Van Halen play 2 chords and it might sound like the best goddamn chords you've ever heard in your entire life. You know what I mean? When Aerosmith sings, when he sings the leads, they are so amazing and so in tune that it's just like next level, you know? So as a musician, as a skater, I think like I've been really trying to just like less is more, finite the things that I'm actually passionate about and allow other people to jive. I don't think everybody has to like it. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. I just care to be helping the supply, you know, helping the feeling, the fabric, the real shit.
I read a really interesting article this morning, and it talked a lot about losing the fear of being judged and stop judging other people. And if you have judging in your DNA, you're going to be scared to be judged. Yeah. But if you stop judging other people, then you can try to be more creative with that worry thing that like, but what if they say, who cares what they say? Are you stoked? Yeah. Do you like it? You know, like I've been doing especially since this pandemic, my whole deal is I want to laugh every day. I want to learn something new, and I want to progress in something. If you do one or all those things, you had a rad day. So like and like, I'm not competing against my neighbor or the guy across the country. I'm competing against me. Yeah. Like if I learn kick flips, maybe I want to learn heel flips today. You know, like I don't care that anybody else already can do triple heel flips. I can't do them. Yeah. I got to fucking learn that shit, you know, like be the best I can be. That's it. You know, as cliche as it sounds, like some of these cliches were cliche for a reason because like they're true.
No, it's true. So as a you know, a human on this planet, what are the things day to day that really inspires you to have that perspective? You know, like why do you feel that way? Is it because some things in the world are really, really tough and you do feel like with the internet and everything that everything is judged and that you can't put out something? Like where does that come from?
Yeah, it's frustrating because I mean, I was going to ask you about that too. It's like we always talk about it and I hate, okay, so here's long story short. I grew up never wanting to be the guy saying back in my day. I hated older people saying that. Now that I'm older, I have to say it because things have changed. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to acclimate to now and that I hate now. I'm just saying when I was younger, Mark Appleyard put a video part out for Flip and we watched it every day for a year. There was no like
Placebo?
400.
Really sorry.
Placebo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every me and every you. And then I went to see
good.
Placebo, who I had never even heard of because Appleyard turned me on to that.
Yeah.
That is this huge thing.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas today, Appleyard puts a tray flip up, it's still butters, but there's 4 billion things that come after that. And it's like, I don't know. To me, everything's watered down and it's just crazy. Like, I get it. Skateboarding got more popular. Everyone rips. Felper used to say, even the goons rip.
Oh, yeah.
Why are we judging who's goons and who's not?
Yep.
I don't know. It's in our DNA.
Yep.
As a guy who makes videos and stuff, like you're always trying, just skateboarding too, you're always trying to like outdo your last thing. But what I was curious with you is like in this era, someone as yourself, I mean, you skate a lot, you have a lot of footage, but how do you differentiate between, hey, dude, I kind of just don't want to put anything on the gram at all, and I just need to go buck and put out this rad part? Or is that mentality kind of like losing steam? And it's just like, who cares? We don't need to make these epic parts anymore. That's where I think a lot of people have different outlooks on this.
I think that obviously it's really valuable to be involved in our current skateboard state, which part of it involves, putting stuff out on Instagram. And I really like seeing art and skateboarding and even musicians and tattoo artists and all the cool things that the world's doing. There's a place where you can actually find something that you can relate to. And if you take it too serious, it's going to influence you incorrectly. And then you're going to start changing yourself to be like something else. That's not what it's for. The origination of all this stuff was a platform for you to pour yourself into, a photograph app, a video app where people can be hilarious, Vine,
Yeah.
Things that you'd see that would fucking crack you up and put that smile on your face.
Yeah.
Is that on the internet? There is that on Instagram. There is that on all the platforms.
Yeah, to spark your creative juice.
But it's
not to like live in a negative, like,
Yeah.
oh God, everything sucks and judge this.
But
and
it's
that.
easy to get burnt out on it when you're following a lot of people and you see a lot of things, And I think that's not what it's about. Of course, be involved in it. Put some footage out there. Put little things on the Instagram or, do things that, promote what you're working on, what you're passionate in. Like anytime I see somebody being like, hey, I just made a new album, check it out, I'm a skateboarder. Like, oh, well, you're differentiating your life and I want to see what kind of music you're playing. And then I can hear more about what type of person you are. Things like that, being in a vulnerable state, the internet's great for that. But that has nothing to do with putting out a video part. If you are going to be a skateboarder, are you going to fucking be a musician and not make an album? No.
Right.
Fucking work your ass off in the studio with your band, crank some shit out, and then put your fucking shit on the line. That's how we do it. That's what Thrasher's about. That's a platform for us to fucking make our albums, put them out to the people, and then rock and hold our shit high. Now, outdoing yourself doesn't fucking matter. Dude, your worst part, somebody could like that the most.
Yeah.
So
it's all objective.
Gnarly injury where I was, had a broken foot for a year and a half and I couldn't skate. And then afterwards, I made a comeback part and it was the Grimple video. And that was a comeback part because I was skating on a fucking hurt foot, with a bunch of metal and shit in it. And like a kid came up to me the other day and he's like, dude, fucking Grimple video, that was my favorite part that you made. And I was like, dude, I was so hurt. Like, thank you. That means the world to me. And it's like, that is what we're involved in. Like, it's about that feeling, it's about that feeling. And what does it do for you? Does it hype you up? Great. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to make sure that it is well known to the entire skateboard industry that it's not okay to not just put out any video parts and just skate on Instagram. Like that is not a career. I mean, to each his own, but that's not a career that I would like to indulge in. Like, I to make parts, and I want to make them more classic, more timeless. I'm working harder on the part I'm working on right now. I'm going to spend more time doing it. You know, I had been in the past where I'm going to make these 3 parts a year and put out a lot of stuff so that I could be a part of it. And it's like, no, if you need to, take your time. Now I'm going to take my time. I'm going to put out something maybe towards the end of next year, give myself a full year and a half to put something out that I'm really, really proud of, and spend a bunch of money on dope music rights and support a label. And then put that shit out there. And then I'm going to hold it really, really high because, well, I mean, I've made a lot of parts, you know, but if you're in your place in a career, say like Roman, like, dude, I want to see some footage. Like what he has going. The homies video part is insane.
Yeah.
When the world sees that stuff, that's his like pro part launch. Like we made that little video just to let everyone know that, you know, we have this involvement going on, and Roman is like, you know, he's in the squad. But when you see his part that he's been working on for a while, it is outstanding. You know,
great.
Just like the Chima part, just like the K-Walks part, on this other level where they really had spent a lot of time and focused in on their craft. And I mean, I don't think it is actually like okay to be a skateboarder and not be focused on these things. Like even one of my best friends, Chris Blake, he worked his ass off coming out here to California, and he made his video part, and fucking Cole put it up on Thrasher, and it was amazing. And it fucking influenced a lot of people, and he held it fucking down for Florida. You know what I mean? And
that's sick.
What else is it about? I want to see more Fancy Lad videos. I want to see more Warble videos. I want to see more videos in general. I want to see small rise, Pyramid Country, No Hotels. You know, I want to see these platforms being used for the right thing, you know, and like all the way up to the Supreme video being on Pornhub. Great. Put that shit out, dude. Let me see some fucking shit, dude. I got love for everybody and everything that I'm doing. And this is like I said, this is our safe place. This is a place where you can be not judged. You're not going to be racially discriminated here. You know, you're not going to be treated incorrectly here. This is the fucking place for you to be yourself, and then put that shit out and be involved, you know? And that's really inspiring, even just hearing that come out of my mouth, because like I'm grateful and thankful to like be able to say that about what we do. Like everybody else that works 9-to-5ers, they can't say that. And like I'm fucking proud to be a goddamn skateboarder, you know? Straight up.
You just influenced somebody.
Dude, it's so good to have you here, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Schmidt, dude.
Cool catching up. I love picking your brain. I like your whole mentality is always just like, it's really good. I mean, that day that we did the one where Frank was doing it and stuff, just being in there and feeling that energy and stuff, like you and Frank have a great chemistry too.
Yeah, the new Grimple video, I'm so excited to see what they're going to do.
I know, dude. The whole Grimple thing's just epic. I think it went it just went like, and they were like, "Ooh, okay."
Dude, it was
Pete and Frank are amazing humans.
It was a fake company, and then they decided, oh, we're gonna make it a real company. And like, dude, that's the thing. It's like if you're as legendary as Frank, then like, fuck, of course you're gonna have a company, and then you can do what the fuck you want with it.
Yeah, as it turns out. When you know what you're doing, you can let it ride.
Sorry,
hey, that's all good. On the way out, can we just do a couple of this or that questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we got? Okay.
We got candles or incense.
Both. Dude,
We got
I like a good candle while I'm driving. Nice mahogany scented candle. And then I love a good incense while I'm cooking dinner. Or if I smoke a cigarette in the van and it smells like shit.
Okay. For incense, are we going Nag Champa or Palo Santo?
Neither. Anything from India.
Really?
Oh yeah. India is a place of sight, sound, and taste. Of course, their incense are going to be better than everybody else.
I like this. All right. Peanut butter and jelly or grilled cheese?
Grilled cheese with a little bit of mayo and a little bit of mustard. You mix those together, European style, and then voila, boom. Sourdough and cheddar, obviously.
Mm. Skate and destroy or skate and create?
Both. You better get out there and fuck some shit up. You better skate and destroy, but at the same time, try to make something new and try to push yourself to put something out that's yours, you know? And that's about, you have to create that inside yourself, you know? I think that's important.
Fender or Gibson?
Both. Dude, how are you gonna give me the hardest questions, dude? I have a Gibson Fender, of course.
Okay, how about this one? Clear grip tape or printed grip tape?
Printed grip tape, but it just depends on what you're printing on it. Garbage on it, then I don't fucking care. I'd rather have black grip tape.
Okay, here it is. I say this every time. I got to get a new spiel because I'm running this one into the ground. But you walk into the bar, you're a little bummed, but you look over and you see a crew that you're like, those guys seem like they could be my bros. I'm going to go to the jukebox and rock this motherfucking house out. What am I putting on?
Oh, shit. Well, I mean, personally, I would put on Children of the Coyote Women by All Them Witches.
And
it's a little bit of a low temper number, but it's one of my favorites off their new album. And it's just crazy. And just one other thing. I can't believe this is even a real thing, but DC did a collab with fucking basically 10 to 15 different artists. The list is absolutely insane. They're not selling this vinyl. It's all covers of fucking Masters of the Universe.
Oh, really?
Dude, here's the lineup. Sweet Leaf. We got fucking Sarah Linton, Jay Mascis. Goes down, Surfboard is playing.
Ooh.
Danny Miller. Danny Way plays Embryo on guitar. UV Way is the band I'm in. I'm on vocals. Robbie Stabler on drums. Elad on bass. Alan playing a violin solo. We're playing Children of the Grave. And then Orchard by Lou Barlow.
What?
The Spits are doing Lord of This World. King Kong doing Solitude. And then the Melvins do Into the Void.
Where can you get this?
It's not something that you can buy. It's something that like is going to be promoted. But I think these are going to be worth a lot of money. Just saying. It is just like the craziest thing ever to be on an album with Jay Mascis. Dinosaur Jr.
Big fan of Jay.
Such a big fan, dude. It was crazy.
I mean, Dinosaur Jr. earlier conversation has to be in that for me.
Oh, exactly. As far as like our skateboarding heritage and our fucking punk mentality, like what drives you?
Yeah.
Come on, Jay. He's insane.
Come on. Yeah.
And he plays at
Alien
Malls, which I'm a huge fan of.
And he plays in Witch, which I love too. He plays drums in Witch.
Drums in Witch. He kills.
Ah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm fucking so we are any of those songs digital or no?
Just vinyl. That's
it. Shit. Okay.
Just on vinyl. It's the craziest thing ever. But okay, to take it back to the question that you're saying.
I mean, this is the song we want to put on to end the pod with it.
And if there is like a crew in the fucking club and I'm like, dude, you guys are badass. Like, I'm going to go straight to the jukebox. I'm going to put on Hooked on a Feeling. Straight up. Hooked on a feeling. I'm high.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. It's a bar. What are you doing?
Yeah. There we go. Hey, do you ever dabble with karaoke or are you just only pro?
Oh yeah. You want to know what my go-to song is?
Yeah.
Moana.
Really?
I've been staring at the edge of the water for as long as I can remember, never really knowing what.
Wow.
Dude, Wes Kramer's, his is Twist and Shout. Twist
Really?
and shout. Dude, he loves that one.
I love Wes Craver. God damn it. I miss you guys, man. Are you going to ever are you coming up to SF at all? Visit us?
Dude, as soon as I get there, I'm coming straight over, dude. I want to interview somebody else. I want to be on the other side of this freaking thing.
Let's do it, dude.
I want to say too, thank you so much for having me on your show. And dude, I'm a really big fan. Keep it up. And thanks for being the really core grounded skateboarder that you are. It resonates with me deep, and needs to be more people like you, Schmitty. So, big ball love, and thanks for doing what you do.
I love you, dude. I appreciate you very, very much. And this has been a moment I've been waiting for, looking forward to. And I can't wait to see how this year unravels. I know that you're going to be a part of it. I know you're going to be a part of next year. I know you're going to be a part of every year. And that's what's rad. Me and I don't know if you know who Tim McKenney is, but he comes in, helps me sometimes with my podcast. He's an old pro skater from Think. And we commonly are talking about you as skater of the decade.
Oh man. Thank you, dude. Now, I'm happy to still be alive on this planet. I'm happy to be on my feet and active. And yeah, I'm ready to, I don't feel like I'm just getting started, dude. Like, I don't know.
Keep the wheels greased.
Till the wheels fall off.
20 more real prime mental years. And I'm really going to take care of myself and my body and everyone around me to make sure that I can just keep going, keep skating, keep making tunes, dude,
Hell yeah. Definitely. Dude, good luck with UMA and everything too. If you can, send some stickers. I got a little collection I got on my thing here. We got to get some up there.
Oh, I got you some. I got the perfect one for your wall right there. So
sick. And like the dudes at Plus have been really cool too. I've appreciate them. They bought a big run of stuff to sell of mine at their shop. And I was like, yeah, I was like, dude, that guy Keith. I was so stoked. I was like, oh man,
he's a real solid homie, and
Brad.
No hotels is just so great. And we're not trying to make a lot of money as a brand. We're just trying to get enough money to get in the van and get our homies out skating. Trying to get.
That's what I always say. You're just trying to make enough money to keep it going. Yeah. Like I need to get money to make more stuff. I need to make money to get to another place, or yeah, I'm not trying to buy a yacht.
Dude, we just need some gas money, dude. Like, it's what it's about. It's a little bit of solar panels and a little bit of gas, and we're good.
All right. Well, dude, hit me up when you're heading this way.
Thanks.
Can't wait to see you in real life.
All right. I really appreciate this. Big love. All right.
Big love to you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Later, bro.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Talking Schmit. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts. When you subscribe, you'll get notifications every Tuesday of new episodes the minute they become available. Also, please leave reviews and a 5-star rating. It's the best way to help the show grow. All of the episodes will always remain free, but if you would like to help support the show, you can do so at TalkinSchmit.com, where you can pick up some merchandise like t-shirts, beanies, hats, and stickers. The website has an entire archive of all of the episodes, with extra photos and videos. Email us with any suggestions, comments, or ways that the show may have improved your life at talkinschmit@gmail.com. All interviews are conducted, edited, and produced by Schmitty. The intro music is Mary's Cross by the band Nature. A very special shout out goes to the executive director, Sharal Camisa.
Shout out.
Love it!
This is Talking Schmit, where the Rolodex is deep, but the conversation is deeper.